I stared at my phone in disbelief. What was this supposed to mean? 3:42 a.m. Why did she send me a text from 13 minutes into the future? And what was that last message supposed to mean? Please be careful. The killer is here. Is she messing with me? Or does she know something I don't? She had sent these types of messages before, but it always turned out to be some kind of prank. It all started 2 weeks ago when I got a message from an unknown number. It said, "Don't trust him. He's dangerous." That was weird, but I didn't think much of it. My boyfriend, Alex, was a great guy. How could this random stranger say something like that about him? Of course, I told him about the message just to be sure he wouldn't get jealous. But then I received another call from the same number. This time, it was during dinner, and the person hung up right when I picked up. Who was this person, and why were they bothering me? After the third call, I finally worked up enough courage to respond. "Who is this?" I wrote. The answer that came back was my own name. My blood ran cold. Was this one of those creepy stalker things? But then I saw the next message. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you. I'll leave you alone." Relief washed over me. Thank God. I knew this person meant no harm. But then the calls kept coming and the messages kept coming. Sometimes there would be hours between them, and sometimes they would come in sets of 3 or 4 throughout the day. I tried not to think about it too much. Surely it wasn't my stalker. I mean, if they really wanted to do something, they wouldn't waste time texting me first. Still, I couldn't help but feel unsettled, especially since most of the calls came in the middle of the night. Then there were the dreams. At first, they only came once or twice a week, but now it felt like they were every night. I would dream that I was being chased through dark, narrow hallways. The air was always thick and heavy, making it hard to breathe. I'd try to run and hide, but wherever I went, there was no escape. Then I would wake up in a cold sweat, my heart pounding in my chest, convinced that someone was watching me, waiting for me to go to sleep so they could attack. I shared these dreams with my boyfriend, and he would listen patiently, rubbing my back and telling me that everything was going to be fine. "You're overreacting," he'd say. "There's nothing to be scared of." But I knew there was something out there. I could feel it. The messages from my supposed stalker continued, and as time went on, they became more and more cryptic. "He's not who you think he is. Run while you can. Save yourself." They were short, abrupt, and to the point, leaving me confused and scared. Who is this person? What are they trying to tell me? And then there were the coincidences. I started noticing strange things happening around me. Little things that made no sense, like finding Alex's car keys on the floor when I knew he'd left them on the hook by the door. Or how I would hear my name being called when I was sure that I was alone in the house. These experiences shook me to my core, making me question my sanity. Was I losing it? Was this all in my head? One night I decided to fight back. I responded to the latest text with, "What do you want from me?" Immediately I regretted it. The response was swift and chilling. "You'll see soon enough." My heart raced as I read the message. Was this person playing with me? If so, it wasn't funny anymore. I was genuinely scared. But then the next message came. "I'm trying to warn you." Maybe this person wasn't playing with me after all. They were serious. But why? What was so dangerous about Alex? The messages only served to deepen the mystery surrounding him, making me question everything I thought I knew about him. I found myself constantly on edge, always looking over my shoulder, waiting for the other shoe to drop. Sleep became a luxury I couldn't afford, each night spent tossing and turning in bed, haunted by nightmares of being chased and trapped. The once vibrant colors of my world had been drained away, leaving me in a perpetual state of fear and anxiety. Yet despite the terror that gripped me, there was a flicker of determination in my eyes. I refused to let this person win. I would uncover the truth, no matter how dark and terrifying it may be. So I did what anyone would do in this day and age. I hired a private investigator. Over the course of several days, I collected evidence against Alex, hoping to find some kind of incriminating information that would explain his behavior. Phone records, text messages, internet history, anything that might shed light on his actions. The PI followed him, took pictures, recorded videos, basically doing everything he could to keep tabs on my boyfriend, and what he found was nothing short of shocking. Alex leading a double life. There were pictures of him with other women, pictures taken in places he claimed he'd never been. And then there were the videos of him getting into fights, even threatening people with physical harm. This was not the man I thought I was in love with. Who was this person I'd been seeing? With this new information in hand, I confronted Alex. His reaction was immediate and violent. He grabbed my phone, smashing it on the floor. "You don't know what you're doing," he shouted at me. "Stop this crazy game and apologize." But I wasn't backing down. I knew he was guilty. All those cryptic messages, those eerie phone calls, they all made sense now. As our fight escalated, he lost control and pushed me to the ground. I lay there stunned for a moment before scrambling away from him. I had to get away from him. I ran to the bedroom and locked myself inside. But he was there in an instant, banging on the door, screaming for me to open up. Adrenaline surged through my veins, propelling me to action. I grabbed the heavy wooden stool beside the bed and swung it towards the door, hitting the lock just as it burst open. Alex stumbled back, surprised by my sudden attack. In that brief moment of shock, I managed to scramble out of the room and down the stairs. I ran to the front door, fumbling with the keys. I could hear Alex close behind me, his heavy footsteps echoing on the stairs. I managed to get the door open and stumbled outside. Without looking back, I ran into the darkness, the chilling laughter echoing behind me. Safe at a friend's house, I recounted the harrowing tale of deceit, betrayal, and near-death experience. As I poured out my story, I felt a weight lift from my shoulders. Finally, I was free from the clutches of Alex and the torment of the stalker's cryptic messages. But then, something unexpected happened. A knock on the door broke the tense silence. Who could it be at this hour? With a mix of apprehension and curiosity, I approached the door and peered through the peephole. To my utter astonishment, it was the police. They informed me that there had been an incident at my apartment, and they needed to question me. It seemed that Alex had called the authorities, claiming that I had attacked him with a baseball bat. He must have gotten up after I left and concocted this story to make himself look innocent. As I answered their questions, I couldn't help but shiver. The thought of Alex roaming free, potentially dangerous and vindictive, sent a chill down my spine. But amidst the chaos and confusion, a glimmer of hope emerged. The police had found evidence at Alex's apartment, enough to corroborate my account of events. In that moment, I knew the truth would prevail. Finally, justice would be served. Weeks turned into months as the legal proceedings against Alex commenced. Throughout it all, I remained resolute, determined to see it through to the end. The ordeal had left me shaken, but I drew strength from the support of my friends and family. Their unwavering belief in me fueled my resolve to fight for justice. Finally, the day of the trial arrived. The courtroom was filled with tension as both sides presented their evidence and witnesses. I took the stand, my voice trembling slightly as I recounted every horrifying detail of my experience with Alex. Looking back, I realized that it had been a pivotal moment, a turning point in my journey toward healing and self-discovery. Although the scars of that traumatic experience still linger, they serve as a reminder of my strength and resilience. I emerged from the ordeal more determined than ever to build a future filled with hope and happiness. As I move forward, I carry with me the valuable lessons learned and the profound gratitude for the unwavering support of those who stood by me through the darkest of times.